Hey guys, what's up? This is Jared with Hunt Nashville. Hope you're doing well today. Today we have got a great one for you. Kevin recently went out to Arkansas to play for a round that a buddy of ours puts on out there every year. A bunch of songwriters go out there from Nashville, play this round, and they always have a really good time. This time around, Kevin went out with a songwriter named Phillip Lammonds. Phillip is a very, very accomplished songwriter here in town. I think he's written for Lee Brice, Jared Neiman, I think Kellie Pickler, Craig Morgan, I think Josh Turner, a bunch of different people. Very, very talented dude. He is also an avid outdoorsman, both fishing and hunting, and especially fly fishing, if I'm not mistaken. So, really good interview here. They did it in the truck on the way out, so there might be some background noise, but I still think it's worth giving it a listen. Some good information in there, especially if you're into the outdoors, and they talk a little bit of songwriting and Nashville life as well. If you like this podcast and want to hear more like it, make sure you subscribe wherever you are listening. That way you get it fresh in your podcast listening device every time we upload one. Make sure you follow us on social media, Hunt Nashville on Instagram, Hunt Nashville on Facebook, Hunt Nashville on YouTube. And without further ado, let's get into it.
What's up, y'all? It's Kevin, and I'm sitting in the front of my truck. You hear that road noise. You don't normally hear road noise when we're doing our podcast, but I was just having a conversation with my buddy, Phillip Lammonds. Did I say your last name right?
No.
Like Lammonds? Coach?
Lammonds.
Lammonds. Dang it, I screw it up
Good
every
buddy.
time.
It's really good, buddy. Phillip Lammonds.
He teaches Lammonds classes.
He does teach Lammonds classes.
And Josh Dorr is in the back. You probably hear him crunching on some pork rinds.
His child's named Lamangelo Lammonds.
Yeah, you're trying to French it up.
Right.
Yeah, it's all Frenched up in here.
But we're taking a road trip. We're headed to Arkansas.
I guess in French is what.
Right.
I don't speak any French.
Right.
Sorry.
We're going to play a gig tomorrow night in Magnolia, Arkansas with Josh Matheny, who you heard on episode probably number 1 or 2. And so me and Phillip were just talking hunting and fishing. And it turns out Phillip is an avid fisherman and a fly fisherman. Rabid. And so, Phillip, how did you get your start in the fishing world? Where did it all start for you?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think what I did was I just like the stuff to start with. You know, all the stuff that comes with it, particularly fly fishing. But, you know, everybody's grandfather took them fishing. Mine, of course, did. The day I caught more brim than him, it was a bigger day than I thought it would be.
All right.
It's going to stuck with me, I guess.
Yeah.
So, that's that. But I got interested in it living on the coast of South Carolina.
What part? Like Hilton there?
Yeah, no. I was north of Charleston.
Okay.
A little place called Georgetown, Pawleys Island area.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really pretty. Good places to be. That's the thing about, fishing. Most of the time you're in a place you kind of want to be, It's just fishing happens in pretty places,
Yeah, that's the truth.
So that's one thing, but and I just got intrigued by that, seeing something eat a worm. That was the early days, just watching something happen, pull back, something that would actually surprise you by fighting back, So, yeah, that's probably answers.
Yeah, man, that's how, I remember growing up I would fit, if it was a pond, I would go into a drainage ditch and fish. Anything. If I thought there was a fish in it there for a while. But there was a time when you actually became a professional fisherman. What year was that about?
Well, it was in the mid-'80s.
Okay.
And I was in the boat business right out of college. And I was in a band too, but
we got to talk about that too. That ties in.
Well, the boat business allowed me to be in a band, is what it was, because I would, the hours were different, and it was, I could I could be gone at times, and I loved boats, you know.
Oh yeah.
And it's just that culture, and all the guys that were sort of doing that in our area, which at that time were many, guiding fishing trips. You know, just there's a lot of sex appeal in that stuff, man.
So wait, you were just out of high school, college,
yeah,
and you were in a band and selling boats,
yeah,
and fishing for a living.
Well, not yet. That came a little bit later.
All right, man, that's like the dream job right there.
Right. Yeah. Well, the funny thing about fishing for there's guys that were a lot and still are a lot better at it than me, and there's a lot of homework involved, and people are, as you know, people get sort of disappointed if it doesn't really go like they see themselves getting the picture taken with the big fish.
Oh yeah, that one day that they're there.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So the art, I think, of guiding fishing trips is, making the rest of the day between tides and that 2-hour window that the fish are going to bite, making the rest of the day something to be memorable.
Oh, I got you.
And so what I did primarily was there were several guides around that I would take their trips when they couldn't, where they get double booked or something like that, because I was still working in the boat business,
Yeah.
I was writing songs eventually too, so it all kind of took off,
Yeah, that's the. Let's see if make sure this is still running. Oh yeah, we're still going. Okay. So you have when you're taking out someone on a guided trip,
Right.
you have an idea. There's like an hour and a half, 2 hour window.
Yeah, particularly,
you know that they're gonna be hitting.
Well,
so then you got to fill the rest of the
day. You kind
day.
of need to know, yeah.
Right.
But we were particularly, we're in coastal. Anybody in coastal regions would tell you. There's a window of time and around tides and certain types of fishing. And I was primarily, like I said, fly fishing. Because I was just intrigued by it. And being in that business allowed me to also get stuff cheap. So it just be
nice.
In certain terms, that was it.
Yeah.
But I had a number of boats, and I always had a demo boat, and I would take people. I was just really into it, and I liked sight fishing. The redfish thing caught me pretty early. And there's a guy named Gene Dixon he's still around that area, and he's like the guru, man. He was it.
Okay.
And he would just, he just spoke fish, and fish just kind of came to him, But he showed me the first tailing redfish I ever saw in my life, and that's it. That was the high dive.
Hook there, yeah.
That
All
was
right.
it,
Yeah.
So that was it. And so from then on, I'm just sort of like you. If you could spit in front of the boat, I was fine. I'd go.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome. Did you fish snook too? Did you have snook in that
No,
area?
we didn't have snook. And that's the one fish that I've never really focused on or spent any time on. I always wanted to. I got some buddies that go down to the Everglades. We were talking about Phillip Lammonds.
Yeah.
He's tried to get me to come down a couple times. Of course, he hadn't tried that hard. He get plenty of people to do it, but I should bug him about it and get down there and try that.
So Flip Pallet, we were talking about the Walker's Cay Chronicles.
Yeah.
And I grew up watching that. That's like my favorite saltwater fishing show. How did you meet Flip and all that whole thing?
Well, I met Flip the first time when I was in the boat business.
Okay.
He was at that time, I forgot who he was endorsing. I'm sure his show was something he was probably putting his show out there. So I'd meet him at shows. I mean, he was the guy who could cast a fly line with his hand, and just put I literally watched him put a fly line in whatever the fly was, or a little cotton ball in a teacup at 75 yards. I'm going 75 feet. I mean.
All right. Yeah.
I just want to know how to do that. Still can't come close to how he does it, but there's just a lot to that art, and so I met Flip at those things, and then kind of lost track of all that. My other stuff was going on with kids, and then the music business was really sort of getting busy for me, and then we met back up. He did some seminars in my area. A neighbor of mine, she was pretty into fly fishing, knew him, and had some film stuff. She put on these seminars, and she would hire Phillip and Lefty Kreh, who she was close friends with.
Okay.
And I met them through her.
Oh, okay.
And they were just neighbors. And then so Flip and I really got to know each other again. And I've gone down there to see him. I meet him in the Bahamas occasionally to fish on one of his. He has these retreats basically.
Okay, so they'll book like a full week.
Yeah, and I'll go down there and be the guitar player, in the bar.
Oh man,
for the night.
Wait, so there you go again. You're getting paid to go play guitar. You get to fish.
No,
you're hanging out.
It's not quite getting paid, but I would.
But just to go there, I mean, that's like.
It's about like being songwriter. You get paid to do what you would pay to do. I said,
right.
Well, yeah, in a matter of speaking.
Right.
Might as well go ahead and live with that.
Yeah, man.
But we would go down and Blackfly Lodge in the Abacos, or the Abaco Lodge down there. Oliver White runs.
Okay. Is that all in the Bahamas?
That's all in the Bahamas. Yeah,
okay.
That's the Abaco region of the Bahamas.
Okay.
Which are really big bonefish, really spooky bonefish on the east side, and then on the west side, the marls they call it. You can go catch your first bonefish pretty likely down there on a fly rod.
Oh, okay. So is the fishing that amazing down there that just like it looks like on the shows?
Man, I think it's like anywhere else. I mean, the more we, I guess, think about it, we sort of forget that these fish are pretty old, in the world. And, we think all the newest stuff is going to change our way to do it. And there may be something to that, but at the end of the day, I look at fishing gear sometimes like dog food. They're not selling it to the dog.
Right.
You want it to look like a piece of steak or something. No, a dog doesn't care that much, I don't think.
Right.
The fish doesn't either, but I do know that, or I do believe that the time of day and certain other conditions and, accuracy of, not spooking. Not spooking them, that sort of thing. There's 1,000 things, and of course, plenty of industry built around all that, but at the end of the day, I just really like to go try.
Yeah.
I like to see a fish. I go, okay, what does he want to eat? Can I make him feel like that's what is coming to him? And
that water down there is so clear.
Right.
That's
it's like that where we are. It's not the same kind of bottom, and also it's the same blue color, but that clear water. We count on some clear water down in South Carolina, Georgia, all those areas, Florida, the same thing.
Yeah.
It's particularly back in the marshes and stuff. Man, I've just, since I've moved to Tennessee, got some buddies, Will Hensley and Peter Jones owns Jones Fly Shop in East Nashville, who is to me, he's like some sort of magician. But he eats, drinks, and sleeps this stuff, so I have no claim to anywhere near the territory he's covered. But he's been taking me, the Caney Fork, and Will as well, Will works for Lee Brice. He's his
oh yeah,
it's his road manager.
Yeah, I met him one time. I saw he had a fly rod hat on. I met him on the road one time.
Dude, he could throw a fly through a screen door.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he played it down. He downplayed it definitely when I met him.
He did, yeah. I wish I could do that. I stole that screen door thing. That was a Lefty Kreh saying.
All right.
But yeah, Will's great, and Will, same guy. He ties all his own stuff. He ties all his flies, and he's got. That's basically his budget for life. Is I work for Lee Brice, and then I fish.
Man,
he fishes, buddy.
Man, that's awesome.
He's mad at him.
So does he own that fly rod shop?
Peter Jones is the one who does that. Will is Lee's. Lee's guy.
Gotcha.
And just both of them, just kind, and it's the other thing, you don't meet many jerk fishermen.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, we'll all lie, but
right, yeah.
We're supposed to do that, but
that's part of it. That's prerequisite.
Man, we were talking about deer a minute ago, talking about deer and all the PETA or whoever it is that gets mad about killing deer.
Yeah.
I mean, I got this great story. My daughter, she was like 5 years old.
All right.
This is where this came from. She was like 5 years old, and we were brim fishing with a buddy of hers, you know. I had him in a canoe out in this pond, and crickets were all over the boat. You know, they'd knocked over the little cricket box. Nothing was biting. They all had cane poles. And by that time, I caught a fish, you know. I said, well, it's time. You know, that's what brim do.
Oh, yeah. All
It's
the time
time,
they turn
okay?
on, yeah.
Okay, they're turning on.
Yeah.
All right, girls, everybody get a cricket. So they both scoop up a cricket, you know. Martha Grace, my daughter, she's threaded on there in that little brim hook, and it's just all that yellow stuff's coming out of him, and you know. And the other girl's with her. She said, "Gross! Ooh, you're hurting him! You're hurting him!" And she looks at him. She said, "Hush! They're used to it."
Yes.
And I thought that was just beautiful. That was where they came from. The crickets are used to it.
They're
so,
used to it. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that with my daughter. She's 2.5. And
Yeah. Oh yeah. you gotta use
she's
that.
already trying to touch the worms and stuff. And
Yeah.
so I have to use that. Don't worry, she's used to it.
Yeah, they're used to it. Crickets are used to it.
I love it. So did you? Was fishing's always taken the lead role over hunting in your world?
You know, no, not always.
Okay.
It just depends. Well, fishing's one of those things you can sort of do all year. And
Yeah, that's true.
And at some level, it's a little more spontaneous. If you want to just slip out for the afternoon, you know, you can go cast a fly rod. Just cast a rod into some golf course pond somewhere with top water one evening. You know, it's hard to go hunt for 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah, you can't just slip that in. You got to plan.
Yeah, I mean, and so hunting requires more commitment to the day, which I love that part of it. You know, walking through the woods with a longbow, and by the way, Flip got me into longbow hunting this year.
Oh, just this year?
Well, it was been last year.
Okay.
Last season.
Yeah.
And
2016.
right,
16,
and
yeah.
so I got this longbow, and I never really had. I had a compound bow years ago and killed a few deer with it, and really, you know, 270 works really well. But,
Right.
So I kind of got
That's
hooked
what I
on that
shoot.
for a while, and, or 308. But anyway, Flip sort of shamed me into this. I went and got cedar arrows and the whole deal. And I actually sent him a box of cedar arrows. This guy makes handmade out.
Oh, that's
I think it's
cool.
in Washington. I can't think of the guy's name right now, but so I went to shoot this thing, and I started shooting it with the veils and all. And dude, I love it. I love it. It's so much more fun to me to shoot that bow.
I've only shot like cheaper like recurves.
Yeah, this is not a recurve.
This is a long bow, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's called a hybrid curve, maybe, and it's a bear.
Okay.
It's called a bear Montana, I think.
Okay.
It's like 45 pounds.
All right. Yeah. Well, you can take down a deer with that. Absolutely.
Well, I shot 2 pigs with it.
Okay.
I missed a deer twice. I mean,
You think it jumped string kind of thing?
I don't know what it did. I hadn't shot it enough at something walking, but
Yeah, and it's not flying as fast as your normal.
oh no,
compound,
you
so,
can
yeah.
read
Yeah.
words on it as it goes. But I do think it's. I mean, you can. It's one of those things. It's a quick draw, you know. It's
Okay.
all reflexive shooting, and Flip sent me some books and stuff. There's the guy. I was just escaping my name. The guy that's the trick shooter that everybody goes to, and it's that just that quick draw shooting, and it's amazing how accurate that can be.
That's
Because you
wild.
don't think.
Yeah.
You don't think. You know, you just get. You know, you get the right pull and everything goes in the right place. And, you know, one day I was shooting, and it's not intuitive to leave your left elbow, you know, with a small crook in it. Everybody thinks it needs to be extended and straight.
When you're full draw. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
With the longbow particularly, it's important to make sure you know that, because there's something going on. And it seems more stable when you got just a little bit of crook in your
Okay.
arm.
I have to shoot my compound bow that way because I got drummer forearms.
Oh,
And
well,
I'll
yeah.
hit my arm real bad.
Yeah.
My Popeye.
Yeah,
But
drummers.
So I tried a little bit of that. What do you call it? Instinctive shooting.
Reflexive.
Yeah, reflexive.
Instinctive. No, it's instinctive. You're right. You're right.
So I tried this thing where you go to full draw and turn away from the target.
You realize, y'all,
Swing.
he is doing all these movements while he is driving.
That's right. And recording.
Yeah.
But turn totally with your back to the target at full draw.
Oh, no, I hadn't seen that.
Swing around, and as soon as your eye catches the bullseye, let go. It's unbelievable how accurate I was with that. And I've done it quite a few times. But you have to be at full draw back here. Or I guess for you, it would be ready to pull, because that's the... I mean, because you pull and let go. That's
I'm pulling and let go. I'm pulling and let go.
So
I can hold. It's not bad to hold. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can hold it.
So I think for the longbow, it would be swing around, pull, let go, all in one motion.
Yeah, I think you're feeding. You'd have to feed it. You'd almost hold it back and pull the bow into the shot.
I couldn't believe it. I saw somebody on YouTube doing it, and it was like next level. I was like, dang, I can't believe that worked. Because I'm looking through a peep sight and the whole thing.
Right.
Let me see if this works.
Well, anyway, it's just changed my. You're talking about, changed my interest in kind of being in the woods again. I'm back in the woods a lot.
Man, that's cool.
And I'm walking in the woods. I'm just going and seeing things. Depending on what you're shooting, a lot of times it sort of changes. And yeah, it's the same way with fishing. It's like with fly fishing. I'm always looking for fish.
Yep.
When I'm with conventional tackle, I sort of drift into looking for a stump to throw at.
All right.
Or looking at, or the bottom, or a depth finder, or this, that, and the other.
Yep.
But with fly tackle, for some reason you're sort of drawn to just go, I'm gonna look for a fish I can see in the water. That's
cool. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
So you're not just going for, like when are you able to do that on the Caney Fork too? Like in Tennessee?
Well, in Caney Fork you're drifting, typically.
Yep.
Or you pull over and find a ripple somewhere and streamer fish, which I really like to do. That's a style of that's a cast at a diagonal and give it a drift, and you.
How does that work? I'm not familiar with that.
Well, you're throwing a big streamer, which it's going to be a big fish bait typically.
Okay.
And that streamer is going to go. You're going to give it a cast up to a certain spot in the stream float that you want it to be down, and the fish is going to normally kind of dart upstream during that process. They're going to fish in those settings don't typically dart downstream.
Oh, right. I got you.
So you just try to keep that going, but that hookup is really strong. I mean, it's really.
Does it hit the top water? And
Well, that's the streamer might be in the water. Yes, it's typically in the water.
Gotcha. Okay.
But like a dry fly, you don't want it to move at all. In fact, you have to spend a lot of time mending the line and making sure that drift doesn't change. Meaning, the fly doesn't get the line is not affecting the drift of the fly. If you understand what I'm saying, it's like basically the water's moving and it can hit a rock and curve to one way,
and it just does its own thing.
And then the fly skates across the top. Well, typically what a trout is eating, an emerging fly or mayfly or whatever else, they don't skate across the top. They just kind of float and get their wits about them. If they're emerging, they'll get their wits about them, their wings will come up and they'll fly off.
Okay.
So that's the thing a trout really spooks the most about, or I say the most, one of the big no-nos is with dry fly fishing is to have that drift of that fly come out of the contour of what the water's actually doing. And it's just the best way I can say it, but I'm sure somebody said it a hell of a lot better. But
I'm getting what you're saying. So you're trying to get that to not just be sitting.
It's a natural float.
Right.
It's a natural float.
What a natural fly would do.
You're a natural float, yeah. And so, whereas with a streamer, you're dealing with what's typically a bait fish imitation, which is not going to act like a fly. They're not going to act like a midge or a bug or whatever.
Okay.
And then there's all sorts of them. I mean, like Will Hensley, the guy I was talking about, who again he's as close to kind of a master student of all this. It's ninja to him. And crayfish. He makes these crayfish, and he can work them across the bottom. Personally, yeah, it's interesting. And
I've never even heard of that as a fly.
I got some in the bag. I'll show it to you.
Cool.
I can't do it. I'm not telling you I can do it like him, but I'm damn sure gonna try here in Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
So,
We're gonna be fishing tomorrow at Josh's cabin, so I'm gonna be on
you know what river that is that we decided?
I haven't even looked.
I'm gonna look it up.
But supposedly there's fish in it.
Hey, look, man. Like you said, if it's a wet spot, we're going for it.
Yeah, that's right.
I believe that to everybody else.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think if the hunting part of the thing I'd almost rather do than anything is woodcock hunt.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm a falconer. I don't have a bird right now, but I got into it years ago. But
I thought it was the start of a joke, to be honest with you.
No.
Like, you want to go woodcock hunting with me?
Timberdoodle, woodcock. It's the name.
Snipe hunting? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right.
Of course, we have snipe. We do have snipe shoots. I know you had them in Florida too.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
Yeah. And nobody says, "Oh yeah, right, whatever." Yeah. Snipe hunting.
Right.
It's okay. Well, you just stay home and watch freaking television. We'll see you.
Yeah.
When we get back.
We'll be out here hunting.
But I've always had dogs. I like, any kind of thing that lets you be with a dog. Get in that game.
Yeah.
That's doing something that he normally does, or is bred to do. And so we hadn't. We kind of lost our quail hunt. I got a bunch of buddies that have places that have quail, but and wild quail too, but not necessarily just all put out.
Okay.
But there's some of that kind of being cultured back in South Carolina, like they have done North Florida and South Georgia and all.
Yep.
But to me, a dog walking through the woods, putting up birds that I really want to eat, and with a 20 gauge Parker shotgun, is a great way to spend an afternoon. And then pour some whiskey at the end of it with a buddy.
Yeah. Man, I've always wanted to try that. See, watch a dog.
Well, let's go. I mean,
man,
I've got a little dog now. She's the daughter of my best dog, Spencer, who died a couple of years ago. She's not gonna make it on she's not gonna get a big Grammy or anything out of it, but she's really got a good heart for it. But so I take her, and her job is to put them up in the air. There's birds that would let me walk right past them.
Oh yeah.
And the woodcock, that's a big thing. It's a cool thing. I don't want everybody doing it though.
That's wild though. So how do they flush different?
Well, they migrate. They migrate through here, and a lot of them end up in Louisiana and everywhere. But this is a migration route for them. And so in the fall, I think this season here probably starts in late December and goes in through January. It's not a very long season.
Okay.
But they flush like a quail at some level, but they're called timberdoodles, and they fly real erratic. They're bigger than a quail.
Okay.
And they're just nutty. I mean, they mostly going to find them in these kind of transitional wood bottoms where you got maybe a little wetland.
Yeah.
It's got a little hill that goes up a little bit. Just like any drain around here. You see these natural hardwood drains.
Yeah.
And they're probing for worms, and typically you're going to find them early morning, late evening, because they're primarily nocturnal.
Huh.
And they migrate at night.
Okay.
For instance.
That's wild.
So.
It's
great for a pointing dog.
Oh yeah. Okay. Pointing dog.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that sounds like a good.
I have a Springer. She's a field Springer, and her daddy was a major field Springer. He had a lot of credentials, but I couldn't tell you what they were. But I know his ass could find birds way better than I ever could. And I always thought he carried one around in his mouth just in case.
That's right. Just in case when he came back.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna spit this on the ground, and here we go.
Right. Oh man.
But it's a quick shot. It's just like quail hunting, but it's a little more reactive than quail hunting. Quail hunting seems like a much more. Well, I've done a lot of quail hunting, but it's still so, it's an organized situation where everybody goes, okay, let's set up, let's get ready, there we are, let's put the dogs in, whatever the protocol is.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes more of a target shot. Woodcock hunting is a little more erratic. I mean, those birds are going to get up, you don't know if he's going to go straight up, if he's going to go, away from you. And they're no harder to hit. They're probably not as hard to hit, don't get me wrong, but there's just something sporty about the whole thing.
That's wild.
And
they're probably a little harder to find, I imagine.
Well, good dog will find them.
Okay.
And they're gonna die where you shot them. I mean, if you hit them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just, there's another layer of cool about it, and I can't really explain.
And there's none in Tennessee, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there are.
Yes,
Man.
sir.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I want to go.
Yes, sir.
I would love to do that. And what time of
I haven't
year
found
is it?
any personally because I didn't go this year because we're renovating that damn house.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
But
And what time? What's
it's
their
going to
season?
be. I have to look at the season, but I think it's
Okay.
probably into December, into late January, maybe even early February.
Oh, okay, so that's right when deer season kind of shuts down. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Oh, but the thing is, you can do this. It's one of those great days, afternoons, 2-3 hours, have a damn whiskey drink on the tailgate when you're done kind of thing.
That's cool.
And,
Yeah.
And the limits, if it's like everywhere else, I'm sure it's migratory, so it's the same limit everywhere, but it's only 3 birds.
Okay.
And but if you kill 3 birds, you've had a good day. It's a really good day.
I got you.
And you might put up 15,
Okay. So that's how erratic they fly and how hard they are to shoot, basically. Or they'll come up early.
I'll say this: if it's kind of like a golf swing to me with these things. I hate to say it, some Peter would kill us for that one. But the thing is, it's kind of like you're always going to have bad shots, and the woodcock will show you those bad shots quicker than anything.
I got you. Yep.
Quail, don't get me wrong, I really still think a quail is harder to put on the ground.
They're flying pretty fast.
They're flying faster,
Yeah.
I will say that. But this is just like a knuckleball.
Okay.
And again, I'm using all these metaphors for something I really love. I tell you I do, because it's just great. My wife, we eat a lot of game and venison, and of course we eat a lot of wild pork because I've killed a lot of pigs. But she loves a woodcock. I cook those for Christmas dinner and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. Is it similar to duck or no? Different?
That's different than duck.
Okay.
I mean, I eat a lot of ducks too. That's the other thing I do as much as woodcock if I can. I'm a duck hunting fool. So
All
deer
right.
hunting sort of in there because it's there. This bow has got me a little more excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Duck hunting, woodcock hunting, that sort of thing. Top of it all. Used to be mad at turkeys.
Yeah.
I mean, I was mad at them, and I hunted them. Hard to keep doing that in the boat business when April's your biggest time of the year.
Oh, I imagine everybody's coming off of winter wanting to. buy a new
Although,
boat.
I mean, I was done at 9 o'clock, but I just got where, the thing about turkeys, and everybody's going to get mad about this, but it's just my vision of this. It's the most important thing you got to have to kill turkeys is turkeys.
Love this. Because me and my buddy Jared, he's the dude, my hunting buddy, and
Right.
he's the other guy that does Hunt Nashville with me. And he is, we have this argument going that I think deer hunting is harder, and he thinks that turkey hunting is harder.
Well, my
And that's
barber told me years ago, my barber said it like this. He says, okay, the difference in deer and turkeys when you're hunting
Uh-huh.
is every deer thinks a man is a stump.
Mm-hmm.
Every turkey thinks every stump's a man.
Right. Yeah.
And he said that's the basic difference.
Yep.
And I'm not sure that's not interchangeable, but at the end of the day, you got to have turkeys.
Right.
You've got turkeys.
A mass amount. Of
You can
turkeys.
take a chimp
Right.
and teach him to, it can work. It's just you got turkeys.
Right.
You
They're
can
all
set-
around you.
You can
Yeah.
you can set the situation up. Now, I will say this: nothing against, and this Flip Pallet would, whatever, he would skin me for this because he is avid, crazy about turkey hunting, and a very, 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 very good turkey hunter.
Yeah.
So I'm not casting any disparaging beyond this, but it's like this. If you set up on a bird you roosted or you heard in the woods, got set up on, called him to a spot, you are reversing nature.
Right. That's the exact opposite.
You're reversing nature.
Yep.
And your ability to do that often precludes the fact that you're not going to generally call them past what is normally coming to them because they're gobbling, which is the hens,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So if you know your area and you got a bunch of turkeys and you do it often, you'll kill turkeys.
Right. They're going to come to you eventually.
You're going to kill turkeys.
Or you're going to be in the right spot at the right time.
Right. Or you're going to be taking a nap and wake up and he's pecking on your boot.
Well, yeah. My thing is like a turkey lets you know where they're at. A deer never does.
Yeah,
A deer will
yeah.
just appear and disappear before you even have your boat.
Turkeys just,
full.
hey, what's up?
Right, yeah.
What y'all doing?
Right.
He's just out there, yo, bitches, I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. He's just calling them in.
Yeah, I know.
And they all come running.
Well, they do. And,
So that's why it is the opposite.
you know,
because,
what if we went in bars and gobbled?
Right.
It's just,
Well, you're a guitar player, so that'd probably work for you.
Yeah.
Drummer, that always
I
works.
thought drummers always had a thing, though. I always thought.
Well, they say that
mysterious.
drummers always want to be a guitar player, and guitar players want to be guitar players.
Yeah, we're happy with it. We're thrilled to death being a guitar player.
Right.
Yeah, well,
But yeah, that's
guitar players, it ain't really fair.
right. Right out there in the front of the stage. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we're still recording here because I'll let Jared edit this out. But so I want to ask you about your music career
All right.
because I want to hear how it all started. Let's go back to when you're selling boats.
Okay.
So this will be like I'll just say 80s, right?
All right.
You probably got your Varney France glasses on.
Had my Varney glasses on, Ray-Bans, had Ray-Bans.
All right, so you were starting to play local bars in the area. How'd you get into music? And that side of things?
Charleston, man. I played in a bluegrass band when I was a teenager.
Okay.
It had a bunch of my neighbors, we had a little bluegrass band called Dixie Dirt.
Okay.
We still have a vinyl record that was out of, but anyway.
Nice.
And,
I like that name. That's a good name.
It was a good name.
Yeah.
It was a cool little band. And anyway, college, I was playing. I mean, gosh, you said it. Guitar in a bar with girls,
Yeah, right.
and that was it. And I would go and play little clubs around Charleston, and I would, I'd worked in them. I was cooking in one of them. I cooked for Les Midi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
From washing dishes to all that stuff. But anyway, my neighbor, I take that back. My second or third year roommate in college moved in with a bass fiddle.
Okay.
We looked at each other and says, "Oh God!"
All right, so bass fiddle so that y'all don't know, that's the huge bass guitar, not
The
like
doghouse bass,
a doghouse bass. That's the big bass that you'll see.
Hank Fudge.
Yeah.
His name's Hank Fudge. No
Real.
kidding. Hank, you very fudge.
Okay.
And just all kind of euphemisms came out of that. Fudge 30 is the time. Fudge 30.
Okay.
The fudge factor you had to figure in. He was always going to be 30 to 40 minutes late.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But anyway, and Bobby Houck was a friend of his, and we started the Blue Dogs. Bobby actually kind of had the band going. We became a threesome that, traveled South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia. And it got some notoriety. Started making records, and then we would go to California, we'd go to the Rockies and go out to Aspen and stuff like that and play shows. And I was married by this time. This was in the 90s.
Okay.
89, yeah.
Leaving town.
Made the first
going on the
record.
Yeah.
Big fans of, a lot of bluegrass bands. So we had this bluegrass kind of Little Feat meets, the band.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And it was a fun thing. It still is. We still do an anniversary show every year, and I missed it this year. Fishing.
Fishing. I was gonna say you're probably fishing.
I was fishing in the bomb, and that one thing led to another. But probably the sort of the turning point was when Hootie and the Blowfish was kind of blowing up in that area.
Okay.
At the time, and we were friends, and then they got, Darius and those guys were big fans of the Blue Dogs.
Okay.
So they'd show up at our shows, and we started actually doing shows with them on their big deal. And then when they blew completely up, we did some shows with them. And I ended up writing a song that was one of their singles called One Love.
Oh, okay.
And wrote it. Mark Bryan and I wrote it. He's the guitar player in Hootie. And, those guys are just like ambassadors of good. I mean, they're just like really good guys, cool people, smart. They made smart feel good to be crazy at the same time. Just really good guys. They were helpful in a lot of ways.
Nice.
Since I'd written that song, I'd written other songs prior to that for the Blue Dogs. I got some people just kind of talking about, you should come to Nashville and write songs. Well, I did that for years on driving to Nashville from Pawleys Island, 9 hours.
Oh, wow.
And I'd do it, 3-4 times a year, kind of build up steam. So that's 20 years later, I moved to Nashville.
Huh.
That's where I'm now. We just moved here 6 months ago.
Wow. So you've been writing the whole time and making that drive?
I've been writing the whole time and getting cuts and having a good time, and getting to know people. And then I got in with, actually, Tiffany Goss.
Yeah, I know Tiffany.
You know Tiffany, okay.
Yep.
So Tiffany and I were, early on, we're sort of working with a group, Russ Zavitt's son, Tony Hazelden, Leslie Thomasina.
Okay.
Who is Leslie DePiro, who's taken off, and Debbie Zavittson, who's just a great song plugger, artist manager of songwriters and whatnot. Used to be Blake Shelton's manager, I think.
Okay.
So anyway, they were champions of me and Tiffany in a publishing company there. They were starting a little publishing company. So she and I got to know each other. Well, I'm gone. Tiffany's doing her own thing, and Tiffany signs at Curb. And several years later, just out of the blue, I get this phone call from Tiffany saying, "Would you be interested in a publishing deal?" Well, yeah. And so she's probably as responsible for that as anybody.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And so I got a publishing deal. They gave me a publishing deal. Then I didn't live in Nashville, so 5 years I've been flying back and forth still.
Wow.
Probably 6-8 weeks a year.
Yeah.
And getting on somebody's bus, Lee Brice or somebody.
So talk about the hits. Let's hear it. Do you have the list?
Well, I wrote
more
stuff.
cuts or?
Yeah, just more cuts. One Love was definitely a hit for Hootie. My first cut was So Not My Baby. Okay. Blake Shelton cut it, and Josh Turner cut it.
Hey, yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah. And it came out. It was the first song I ever wrote in Nashville. Of course, I wrote it with Sean Camp, which is like cheating.
Yeah.
Because he's magic. But so, and then just I don't know, 1,000 songs later, I've just written a bunch of stuff. Been lucky, here and there. Lee has been the best to me. Frankly, I've written a bunch of stuff with Lee. He just cut 2 of my songs in his last record. Nice. He had something on the last 2 or 3 records.
Man, that's awesome.
Best part of me, something I'm real proud of. Wrote with Chris Gelbuta, and one of the coolest highlights of this Lee's new record is he and Edwin McCain and I. Edwin was a friend of mine from the Hootie days.
Okay,
We've known him for a long time, real good buddies.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan of his.
Edwin cut some of my stuff. He came to my house one day. We wrote like 3 songs and cut them all.
Oh, nice.
And that's the way Edwin did, though. If Edwin wrote it, he's probably going to cut it because he didn't write as much, but when he did, it was crazy good.
It was like his song.
It was crazy good. He's just that guy. He's a guy who can spit it out.
That's cool.
But, so, Lee told me, he said, Edwin is a big hero of mine. And I said, well, let's just call him up, see if he wants to come write.
Nice.
Hell, he got his truck and came on. Edwin's a farm boy. Our Edwin's is down home as anybody you'll ever meet.
Oh, that's cool.
And funny as shit. Funny as he's hilarious.
Nice.
So Edwin comes up there. We're in Lee's garage, and 4 hours later we wrote 2 songs. And he's got this song called Story to Tell. I called it Little Bird. I think they still call it that on the liner jackets. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's called Little Bird and Story to Tell and whatever it is. And it's Lee and Edwin as a duet.
Oh, okay.
Warren Haynes is playing guitar on it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's probably I'm as proud of that as anything too. You know, that's Lee has just been that person. You know, there's a bunch of other guys I'm getting traction with, but like I said, I've never lived here. You know,
that's wild. So that's only happened in the last 5 years, or
5 or 6.
Okay.
That is, but really, we moved here 6 months ago.
Oh wow, man.
And Rebecca and I, you know, our kids are in college now, and one's out, and
so once you got all you already got some hits and got some cuts.
I owned a real estate business in the middle of all this. I had a real estate business.
So you're like, okay, I guess we can go ahead and move now.
20 years.
20 years in.
And Rebecca said, let's just do it. You know, so we came up here and bought a house. But the funniest part is, everybody said, you're going to buy an old house? I said, dude, this house is 1896. And that is the newest house that Rebecca and I have ever owned.
Oh, wow.
Except for one little beach house thing that we didn't own long.
A lot more history in South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean,
like
you know, our neighbors
older
are in
area.
the 1730s and stuff.
Man,
you know, but, so we've renovated that, and we're settled in. You know, trying to get, you know, any good roofers? I need a roofer.
I know a guy. Yep,
Yeah,
I can hook you up.
serious.
My Jared, he'll know somebody. He's a contractor, Jared.
Yeah, I need somebody. This guy, he underbid me, and he wouldn't tell me why he wouldn't come.
All right, because he underbid it.
He underbid it. I said, at least tell me, dude.
Well, there's something I always ask people. I guess for you it would be, why do you hunt and fish? If you could sum it up in a couple paragraphs.
Oh, I can sum it up pretty quick, I think.
Yeah.
I hunt and fish because I'm outside. 50% chance a dog will be involved. I enjoy what it brings me from believe it or not, from a food and a culinary standpoint.
Yeah.
But there's just nothing prettier to be in you know, than the woods and or a river. And it's the two most natural environments you can be in. And I think historically we're hunters and fishermen anyway, and we've just sort of refined it over the millennium, you know. And it just, I think you got to be one almost in a way. It's like point dog's gonna point, you know.
Yep.
So that's my thinking.
That's my thing too, man. It's just like there's nothing else that gets me that I can escape from everything like that.
Yeah.
Just drive 20 minutes from home, and you could be like, I might as well be in Montana, and
it changes what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
It changes the conversation, and it's just something that's good for your heart. You know?
Yep.
And so I'm sure people shoot at this whole thing of, well, you're killing things. Well, if you knew the trouble we went to, or you can imagine the trouble you go to respect what we bring home. I mean, that to me is a lot to teach kids.
Yep.
It teaches people a lot of restraint. It teaches people a lot of respect for each other. You know, my best friends are hunters and fishermen, and my children admire them and believe in their ethic. You know, and there's just a lot of things that are life lessons that are embedded in it all. You know.
Yeah, that's the truth. It takes you out of you're outside of your normal daily routine also.
Right.
And it's just like, man, that's what, and you'll find that like the really accomplished hunters that you talk to are the more humble people.
Well, that's
and they respect it so much.
That's Flip Pallet.
And like,
Flip is that guy.
That's cool.
And Flip, and just to give you an example of Flip's sort of prowess, besides just take all the fly fishing that you know about, just as a turkey hunter, he is. I can't remember if it's a Stevens or Harrington Richardson, but it's a Sears bought single barrel shotgun, single shot. He wears no camouflage.
Oh, really?
and he
The
will
turkey
be,
hunt?
He will be in a red plaid shirt.
Wow.
Or a plaid shirt, not red plaid, but
Like a flannel shirt.
Just a flannel shirt.
Yeah.
And makes wing bone calls.
Nice.
And it's the esoteric part of life that is in all that for him. And I've learned so much just by watching people like that. And and I think you learn a lot about nuance and all these other things in life. And when you're writing songs, that's what we're doing.
Yep.
You know, it's like we're making a long story short, and you can really see it all in one place when you're hunting and fishing.
Yeah, man, that's the truth. I think there's a big connection to with it kind of scratches that same itch is when you're trying to figure out a song.
Yeah.
As you're trying to figure out something that's in the woods, and that whole thing. I think it's a very
it's kind
very
of like
creative.
you know
thing.
it's in there.
Yeah, and it's like I know I can make this happen.
And
I know I
it's
can
in
write
there.
this song. There's a
Yeah.
way to say it. And the same way you're like, I know I can make that turkey come my way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's all interconnected though.
As Rustin Kelly said one time he said, it's already been impregnated.
All right.
It's just now labor. It's all labor pains now. That's all it is. It's already been impregnated. It's already in there.
Right.
So
That's awesome.
it's just labor pains now.
That's cool. Well, you brought some stuff to do some bass fishing tomorrow. That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
did. I got some big old feather poppers.
All right, I'm going to be throwing a tube mostly, so we'll just have to see.
Well, you're gonna probably wear me out tomorrow. I'm just never been here, but I'll have more fun.
All right, there you go. I want to learn a couple of the. I want to try out your fly rod.
I would try to dial you in a little bit. You get some bad habits right off the bat from me.
Right. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate the conversation.
Thank you, bro.
And look forward to playing some music with you tomorrow.
Let's get on to Arkansas. We're going. We're not in the Mississippi River yet, are we?
No, I don't think so. You think they have those drive-through liquor stores?
I hope they do.
Man, I hope they do.